Coming off a third solid positive week in a row for U.S. equities, we'll look to tech once again to extend the current rally as investors are set to digest March PMI data and March non-farm payrolls Friday before the market even opens. Light on the earnings front this week. However, a ton of corporate presentations to come, including both Walmart and Disney's annual shareholder meetings. It's another dose of your bite-sized weekly market prep. The week ahead preview right now. The week kicks off with economic data to drive the action starting just after the market opens on Monday. We'll get S&P Global Manufacturing PMI for March at 9:45. The more important number, however, comes at 10. The ISM Manufacturing PMI number for March, again, 10 a.m. Construction spending for February. Out of the last two readings on PMI, the ISM is more closely watched. Remember, PMI stands for Purchasing Managers Index. The reading is a result of a survey looking at the amounts of manufacturers are purchasing based off demand for manufactured goods. In February, this data showed manufacturing sector contracted in February for the fourth consecutive month following a 28-month period of nothing but growth. Let's move on. Monday during the session, then we'll keep Disney shares on close watch. The company will hold its annual shareholder event, the first since the return of CEO Bob Iger, via a live webcast meeting that will begin at 1 p.m. Eastern. Docu shares could also be on the move as the company is set to present at the Morgan Stanley 2023 Silicon Valley bus tour. All right, let's move on to Tuesday now. We'll get more potential market-moving economic data along with a few more corporate presentations coming through for tradable opportunities. Starting at 10 a.m., we'll get the JOLTS job openings for February, factory orders month over month for February. That JOLTS number comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and is a look at job openings and turnover in the labor market. The number typically precedes the more closely watched non-farm number that will be released before the market opens on Friday morning. The past two readings on this number, though, have come in higher than expected. During the session, then, there are a few companies set to make presentations, including Mobileye. MBLY shares will be on watch, scheduled to present at the B of A Securities Automotive Summit. CrowdStrike as well. CRWD shares could be on the move. The firm set for its investor briefing right after the bell, starting at 4 p.m., so right after the closing bell, obviously, for CrowdStrike. Rivian also will be scheduled to present at that B of A 2023 Global Automotive Summit. Their presentation is set to kick off at 1:20 p.m. Eastern. Let's go on to Wednesday. It's setting up to be a monster day full of economic data and investor presentations as well for tradable opportunities. Earnings to start, though, we'll look to consumer staples name ConAgra Brands, CAG, coming through in the pre-market with their latest report. Economic numbers then will come fast and furious starting at 8:15 with the ADP employment change number, a key gauge of employment conditions, again ahead of the March non-farm payrolls number that's set for Friday morning at 8:30. Trade balance for February, import-export data also for February comes at 9:45. S&P Services PMI final for March, that's also at 9:45, followed by at 10 the more important ISM non-manufacturing PMI reading for March. 10:30 we'll get the energy information board's crude oil inventories number. The services PMI number can be more closely watched by the market and overall economic conditions than the manufacturing reading we're going to get earlier in the week. Last month, this number topped expectations, growing from 46.8 in January to 50.6 for the month of February. All right, Wednesday also during the session, we'll get both FDX, FedEx, and Walmart Investor Day presentations. As always, any comments coming through from company officials at these types of events can move the market and provide volatility-based opportunities. The FDX event will get underway at 10 a.m., while the Walmart event is actually the second of a two-day investor presentation, so it will be on throughout the session with many top executives set to present. All right, let's go on to Thursday. Constellation Brands and Levi Strauss headline earnings names coming through with STZ scheduled for pre-market. Levi, meanwhile, comes through after the market closes on Thursday. On to Friday, because it's the biggest event of the week, and we'll wrap things up with March non-farm payrolls coming through. This data point will not only be closely watched by Jerome Powell and the Fed, but will also provide a little more insight into the latest quarter-point hike from the FOMC we got just a week ago. Last month, for the second straight month, if you remember, we saw this number topping expectations. There was, however, some good news last month as we saw average hourly earnings rising just 4.6% when the expectation was for a rise of 4.8%, indicating that we might finally be seeing some softening in the employment market. Most economists, meanwhile, are expecting 250,000 new jobs to have been created last month, with the consensus number a little closer to 240,000. The unemployment rate is expected to fall again as well to 3.5% from 3.6% this month. As always, we'll bring you all the action live daily on TraderTV.Live.